So I'm about to chat with Vasilia, who's the lead actress on a filming competition in London called The Agreement. Thank you, congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome to London. If you could give us, introduce yourself please, and then tell us a brief synopsis about the film.
Well, as you said, my name is Vasilia Kokotovic. I'm a lead actress in a movie called Agreement. The movie is about a Serbian refugee that wants to go back to where he used to live.
Yeah.
And he was made sure from both the Serbian and Albanian government and also the foreigners that he's going to be saved and that his return is going to be safe and that he's welcome there, but it's not a situation. The movie is based on the true events, and the director of this movie, this is like his first featured movie.
Yeah.
He did a lot of documentary movies before, and he was also in lots of festivals, international festivals with those movies, and he actually won some big awards for it. He used to work as a journalist for 15 years in Kosovo, and so as a journalist he picked up on several stories, something like that, and I think that it was like his personal mission to make this movie happen, because he just wanted to, one of the stories that really got to his attention, wanted to be on film and to put to people to see it.
And were you involved from the outset? I mean, when were you brought into the project?
He called me to talk to me about it. He has written. He's also a screenwriter for this movie. He wrote a script. He called me to say to me that he has this script that he's thinking about for years now, and he really wants to do it, and that he would be really pleased if I was involved with it as an actress.
Yeah.
He didn't actually offer me a particular role, but he was like, can you please just read the script and then we can talk about it. And the funny thing, or maybe not that funny thing, that when I actually read the script, my first reaction was I was crying for 3 hours.
Oh really?
Yeah. So
because it was so moving?
Originally I'm from Kosovo, I'm from Pristina, and I am also a refugee, and it got me on a really personal level. So yeah, my first reaction was crying, and the second one, I would really like to be a part of this movie.
So was it accurate? It must have been accurate for you to be upset by it. It's got to have been, isn't it?
Yeah. So I texted him like at 3 a.m. and you know, he's like a family guy with a family and everything. So I was like, yeah, he's sleeping. I was like, I really love the script, you know, like I really need to tell you now. And when later we met, and he offered me the leading role, which I didn't expect at all.
Wow.
So for me it was like a really huge deal, and because this was my first movie at the time, we filmed it like a year ago. It's really important to me in so many levels. It's a first role, and it's a big role, and it's about the movie that I really care about the story that I really care about. So yeah, it was really, for me, good to be in this project.
I mean, it's quite a serious subject matter, of course.
Yes.
But during the shoot, I don't want to say was it fun on set. I don't mean that, but was the shooting kept quite light-hearted to try and keep you... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me tell you another thing about this movie. We were shooting... This is like the first Serbian movie that was shot in Kosovo, actually, after the 1999, so in 17 years.
Right.
We didn't have any permission to do it from anybody.
Well, you just thought we're going to do it?
Yeah. That was the idea of it. And as it was like that, we had a lot of troubles doing it, because sometimes we didn't have a set. We actually filmed everything on the exact location which there exists there. Like, for example, a refugee camp is a real refugee camp, and we didn't have extras. The people who are extras are real people who live there.
So, how did you... So you can see that it's all real. Mm-hmm. So how did you scout the locations?
Well, as I told you before, he was working as a journalist for 15 years in Kosovo.
So he kind of knew that, right.
So he knew where those locations are. For example, the village for returners, you know, the houses that they built for them.
Yeah.
He knew the location of that village. For a refugee camp, you know where the refugee camp is, in which village, in which enclaves. So he knew where he wanted to shoot it, but it was even then it was like a couple of times police came to the where we were making it, to the set, stopping the
that did
filming.
happen. So right, oh God.
Another like interesting story about filming it. It was like the scene on the graveyard. The graveyard is actual graveyard that is ruined, and it's in the capital Pristina. It's a Serbian graveyard, and it was. I think that it was something like a commemorial thing about World War II in Pristina in that time, and some I don't know, politicians from France or something like that came to put the flowers on the on the
like
monument. And, something like pardon my English.
No,
please.
that's very good. Very good.
So what my director did, he used that situation to get into the graveyard like a journalist, because there was a lot of journalists with the cameras and stuff. So he went there as a journalist with the main actor and only the sound guy and the cameraman guy. And when they got into the graveyard, because it's guarded and there is a person with a gun securing it, when they actually get into with that journalist crew, they just took left, and then they started filming because all the attention was on that other thing. So they could made a scene like they made it in 15 minutes, and it's in the film, and it was all.
And only
like,
one chance to do it. That's the problem, isn't it? Because you can't go back again. Really,
exactly. So a lot of interesting things happened during filming it. Not funny, nothing like that. It was really hard to do it because you know when you are doing scene in a refugee camp, and you see all those people after 17 years living like that, and nothing was set there. You know, when we were shooting the inside of the camp, it's someone's house.
Yeah.
We didn't make anything. We didn't put not even one glass there. You know, it was totally realistic. Mm. So when you see those people living like that for so many years and waiting in a queue for the food every single day, and their kids been taken with the military vehicles to the schools, it's kind of hard to watch and to be part of it. You know, it was like so many times, you know, cried for myself just watching that.
And was the director open to, not suggestions, but would you, for instance, say, can we try it this way, or that's not quite how it would be, or did you just stay on script?
No, I'm really pleased about working with Predrag Radonjic. I need to say his name because he's not here to represent himself. Because obviously we didn't have a lot of time to do it there. No. Because it was the way I told you before. So I really appreciated about my role that a couple of times before the shooting started, lots of times actually, we met in Belgrade, where I live and where he lives.
Yeah.
We met.
You're still there now? You're still
yes,
based in, right,
yes.
okay, in Belgrade. Yeah.
We met a couple of times to talk about the scenes, the script, my character, my role, how to do it. You know, we talked about it a lot, so that when we were at the exact location, because we didn't have much time to do it, we agreed on almost everything before the shooting started. So in that way, it was good for me and easy for me to work on it.
And how long did it take to actually film?
Actually, just over a month.
Right, okay, so it's quite a long time.
Yeah.
And is that because you are racing from, not racing is the wrong word, but going from one location to the next and moving, and I suppose you have to take all this into account when you're shooting the film, that you've got to get from point A to B to point C to D and so on and so forth. But was that month, had that been built into it, or did you go over the amount of time you'd allocated? So had you built a month into the schedule? Well,
you know, all the locations that we had, they're not that far from each other.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like 3 hours driving to the next location. It was, you know, we picked it like if it's a refugee camp,
Yeah.
we will shoot all the scenes in the refugee camp in one day, and then we will go tomorrow on the other location and do the whole scenes there. So that's how they managed to do it on time. They had a little bit of trouble with weather, obviously,
Yeah.
and that was, I think, and of course, the way we shot it without any improvement and everything,
Didn't that bother you? I mean, I know you had to do it the way, I get it.
Do you know what? After the premiere, Predrag organized like a little tour of for the movie to be shown at the Serbian enclaves in Kosovo, in the villages wherever there were conditions of a little projector or anything, for the Serbian people who still lived there to see it. Their reaction on this movie was, and this is like the most important thing for me, and I think to Predrag too, is that their reaction was, this is our life. This is what we live every single day. This is like, they recognize it as their own. And that's why, when you're doing with that kind of feeling in your side, in you.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It's not hard. It's just you know that you have to do something. It's like a personal mission for everybody.
But did it affect you? I mean, did it?
In many ways, it was, for me, it was easier to make a character out of it because I was surrounded by so many bad things and like misery of those people. It was, in that way, it was helpful for me. But in other way, it helped me to grow as a person and to appreciate. One journalist asked me, because I'm from there, he knew that. He asked me, would you come back? Would you be the returner? Would you be the one who comes back and live back in Kosovo? And I knew what is politically correct to answer, But I knew how I feel. It's like there are no conditions in Kosovo unfortunately, for Serbian people to live normal. So it got me, the situation there, what I saw, how people live now, got me appreciate my life and got me appreciate how I didn't end up, in those circumstances. I don't know if you get me, but
no, I do, because we were lucky enough, obviously, to speak together a few days ago.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that actually wanting to be an actor or actress in Serbia is very unusual, I guess, because I can imagine there isn't much of the opportunity to act must be very difficult. I mean, it's tough anyway, but I would imagine it's even tougher. And when you explain that, you're having to almost do guerrilla filming, really, because really you're turning up without any authorization. If the authorities come along, what's going to happen? They might confiscate your equipment, it might be a fine, I don't know, who knows what's going to happen. So it tells me that the circumstances that you're filming under and the opportunities are very tough.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say so. It's not. It's just for this movie. It was like that because Predrag, he really wanted everything to be shooted in Kosovo. So in a way, this is like this film is going to go to Serbian cinematography history as the first movie ever filmed in Kosovo after 1999, and after a lot of Serbians left Kosovo. So in a way, that's why it was so hard to do it without permissions and stuff. But usually it's not like that. Usually cinematography in Serbia is, I think, for the region is really good, and it's like the top of that region, Balkanese region, is really good. And of course the conditions of filming and everything, they're normal, they're regular, there are studios, there are sets and everything. It's just for this movie was like that. It's not, and it's only because it was a personal mission of his, and he wanted to tell a story that he wrote about as a journalist.
and he wanted to be authentic, and also he didn't have a lot of money to make a set and to, you know, just hire people to do stuff for him. It was a really, really little budget, so he had to do it on the exact locations.
And it's lovely because I've seen you all week, not necessarily talking to you all week because obviously we're both very busy, but what's very interesting is that you're pushing this film and no, but that's a compliment. That's a compliment because you're obviously very driven. And why wouldn't you do that? You know, it makes perfect sense.
Have you seen how many people have been on the screening of this film?
No, I didn't see.
It was a lot of people, and my heart was really like.
And do you know why? Because you're pushing the film.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing that you know you've got to do because you're encouraging people to go and see the movie, which is the right thing to do.
Well, that's why I'm here, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yes.
I'm really sorry the director couldn't make it,
I'm here to represent this film,
and I'm doing my best to do that. And I really, you know, the reaction of the people. I was a little bit afraid. You know, not a lot of people knows anything about Serbia.
No.
Or Serbia and Kosovo. Or what are their issues? What is going on there? Who lives there? You know, not a lot of people from Japan knows, you know, who are Serbs or what issues they have with Albanians or whatever. So for me, it was I was a little bit scared how people are going to see the movie. Are they going to
understand it in a proper way or
something like that? I got so many compliments about film after
the screening.
Positive comments.
Of course, it was.
I couldn't believe. I really, honestly couldn't believe. Like Neil told me that this is like if I can say. It's his words, like the best movie that he saw in 3 years in this festival.
And Neil will tell you as it is.
Yes,
if he doesn't like it, he will tell you.
He's a guy who speaks up his mind.
Yeah.
And then
Sushi told me that. Sorry, but he told me that he's not going to be able to see any other movie today because he was so
affected
by this movie that he's just going to go and think about it a lot, and that's it. Maybe we'll see
each other tonight on a panel.
So it was like I had
this lady, I forgot
her name. Sorry, that she was asking me so many questions about everything. So the
people got involved, you know, seeing it.
I bet it was Paula. I bet it was it Paula, the Spanish woman?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was like really, for me, it's a huge thing for them. First of all, to come in that number, and then second of all, to be affected in that way, and with a lot of compliments. Neil also said to me that whoever wrote this, he's a genius. It's a really good script.
Good script, yeah.
And I was like, okay, it's director's script. He wrote it. It's you know, I'm just gonna say him that you said that. So the
reaction of the
everybody it was, for me, I didn't expect it really, and I'm really glad that it's like that.
And what's next?
Hopefully, you know, we'll represent
this film in many more festivals. Yes, and I'm pushing Predrag to write another script, and
in the hope that you'll be in it.
No, I have to be in it. You know, it's like
okay.
This is like, you know, in Serbia, when director is really satisfied with the work of an actor, he will call him again.
Oh, so that's different. Okay, so they stick to the same.
Yeah, they usually do that, which is really good, you know. See, I am pushing it because I have a lot of stories, you know, from my own stories from when I was in Pristina, how I escaped Kosovo, how I moved to Serbia. He told me the other day, I need seriously to sit down with you and for you to tell me everything that was happening to your life, because now he has this idea to make a film about from a child perspective, as I was then.
Yeah.
We'll see, maybe, but you know, it's been like he put some of his money into this film also. He's now in debts and stuff like that. He needs to recover from that so that he can even think about making another movie. But I'm really pushing him to do it. I really love to work with everybody, and you know, the cast was really great. I think that everybody did a proper job, you know, doing this film. Everybody felt it the way they should. And then he was really lucky about the cast also.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great interview, well done. And it's about 20
Ljudi se mogu naći u teškim okolnostima.
A malo mi je što sam jedva živu glavu iz Krajine izvukla, ma jebno me onaj što me natera da se na Kosovu udajem i decu da rađam.
Jelice, kaže Aci da požuri, zakasnit ćemo.
Evo vam ga, pa mu vi recite.
Zahvati to malo više.
Stari, samo ti se ljutiš. Samo tražiš.
Kada svaka promena deluje kao spas.
Hoćemo li polako? Najavili su kišu, a i valjalo bi da stignemo za dan. Ha?
Jer nigde nije kao kod svoje kuće.
Pička i materina šiptarska. Ne može čovjek da živi od njih.
Šta lupaš, bre, ti, bre, budalo?
Šta lupam? Pa ja sam za njih ratovao, bre.
Dobrodošlica je zvanična politika.
Mi smo se borili protiv Miloševića i njegov režim da bi oslobodili Kosovo za svi ljudi koji ga hoću, žele za svoju državu.
A život je nešto drugačiji.
Dobar dan.
Mirdita.
Mirdita, oprostite mi, slabije govorim albanski.
Naučit ćete.
I često visi o koncu.
Voljan! Čuvaj! Oši nukje daljim!
Sve se ipak da srediti.
Så.
Nuk e di. Por me sebe krejt, mund të kryhet me para.
A sada se potpišite.
A pravi izazovi tek dolaze.
Decu, nemaš prava da mi uvlačiš u to!
Jer dobrog izbora često nema.
Sad kad sam ti sve prodao, sad mogu da idem iz ove selendre. Nema da se vratim nikad.
Udva da krenem, tebi se vraćam ponovo. Ko da mi otme iz moje duše
Deca, da mi ne rastu u ovo blato.
Udva da krenem, tebi se...
Ej, polako, u red, dvoje po dvoje.
Ali čovek je ipak prinuđen da bira.
Čovjek uvijek ima izbor.